There's an epidemic of depression among young men, and even the media recognizes this, but the solutions they provide are honestly crap. This is because the so-called experts really have no idea what a man is, or what a woman is for that matter, because modern people see humans as just elevated animals who want nothing more than their carnal desires. But this is not true at all. Inside the heart of every man is a warrior. All men need something to fight for. Part of the reason why sports and video games are so popular among modern men is because there's not much for men to fight for in the real world, but men still look up to heroes and role models who fight for what they believe in. Why do you think men think about the Roman Empire so much? There's a reason the Bible refers to God in masculine terms, despite the fact that God has no gender according to his divine essence. It's because the Bible compares God to a mighty warrior, and men look up to mighty warriors. The Bible also says men are made with a desire to work, if that work is productive and creates great things. So why are men struggling so much these days? Well, it's because men need two things, something to work for and something to fight for, and modern society gives them neither of those things. First of all, the school system is basically rigged against boys because it discourages boys from being boys. From a young age, boys are taught to sit on their butts for 8 hours a day, and if they don't like that, they're diagnosed with ADHD. Guys are discouraged from being creative, adventurous, or funny, so normal male behavior gets branded as bad, and boys end up being seen as second-rate girls, because schools tend to promote more feminine traits like being organized and following directions. That's why all those 20 highlighter girls, whose notes look like you could publish them in an art gallery, end up doing so much better in school, not because they're necessarily smarter than the guys, but because they're a lot better at doing the mindless busy work that teachers hand out, which is honestly just an excuse for teachers to not do any teaching. So men falling behind academically is one of the reasons that society gives them nothing to work for, but they also have nothing to fight for these days. Traditionally, the things men would fight for are their faith, family, and country, but modern society has abandoned all of these things. In terms of faith, Gen Z is the least religious generation in human history. It's also the most depressed generation in human history, and that's why a lot of young men turn to political extremism, because they need something to believe in, but a lot of young men also believe in nothing and become nihilist, and they try to drown out their meaninglessness with marijuana, video games, and pornography. For family, back when the church had power in society and encouraged monogamy, most men were able to find a wife. Because you had one man assigned to every one woman and there's about an equal number of men and women in the world, mathematically everyone's gonna find someone. But ever since the church's authority declined and was replaced by hookup culture, now we've kind of reverted to a prehistoric model of polygamy, where a few men get all the women and the rest of the men don't get any. Either way, it's really hard for the average man to start a family. For country, this country has spent the past 20 years telling men that they're the oppressor, which kind of explains why men are not too keen to fight for their country anymore.